Hello, I'm Larry Johnson, and welcome to this episode of Countercurrents. Today is May 7th, when this recording is being made, and the relevance of that is earlier today along the Indian-Pakistan border, conflict broke out. And today, with me to discuss the events is a correspondent in India, Krishna Mohan. Krishna, how are you?
I'm good. How are
Hey,
you doing?
we've got sound. That's terrific. We were having difficulty the last time. Uh, hang on for just a minute. So, Krishna, you are on the front lines of breaking news today. But before we get started, you've been a reporter, correspondent with Sputnik. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's true. I'm doing reporting for Sputnik from India. I'm Delhi based.
So, how did you? What was the path that brought you to becoming a reporter?
Long back, around maybe 25 years back, I thought being a reporter, and since I was very interested in military topics, so I started doing reporting in defense matters. And since last 25 years, I am covering defense for many Indian newspaper. Earlier, it was leading newspaper, then leading news channels from India. And now I'm working with the Sputnik. I'm basically a defense reporter. I'm covering defense since last 25 years. I covered Kargil, then many more conflicts and military related issues and all.
Okay. So, this, as the news broke, it was yesterday, May 6th, my time. I think it was early on May 7th, India time, when India launched the attack on the terrorist camps inside Pakistan. And so right away, fear that this would blossom into a bigger war grew. So where do we stand right now? Why don't you cover what happened and the Pakistani response, and then where you think this is headed?
Actually, last night is early morning of 7th May, around 1:05 Indian Standard Time, the attack started. It was a joint operation uh, of Indian Air Force and Indian Army, and it went on up to 1:30 a.m. Around 25 minutes, it went on. So basically, 9 targets were picked up by Indian agencies. They were terrorists' launch pad, training centers, and camp. And targets which were near to Indian border were allotted to Indian Army, and deep inside strike was given to Indian Air Force. And after Indian Air Force and Indian Army completed their attack, Pakistan retaliated around some 20 minutes after the attack. Around 1:45 or 1:50, Pakistani started with heavy artillery fire all along with line of control, and they hit villages near a place called Punch. And till now, 15 fatal casualties have been reported. 33 other are non-fatal, and loss of civilian infrastructure. One is school was blasted out. And today in the morning, Indian government organized a press conference. Foreign Secretary of India, Mr. Vikram Misri, addressed the press conference, and there were two women officers, one from Indian Army and other from Indian Air Force. They were also present in the press conference. They reiterated that these targets, terrorist camps and launch pads and terrorist centers, were picked up after reliable intelligence that terrorists are present there. They are preparing for another attack. So they were hit by smart weapons, precision guidance ammunitions to avoid any civilian damage or any collateral damage. No military installation or establishment of Pakistan has been hit. No civilian area has been hit. Very specifically, target terrorist launch pads, their training centers, and their big camps were targeted. So this happened all day, and this night, since morning, it is happening. And now everybody is thinking, what is next?
So is the fighting continuing, the exchange of fire, or is it has it stopped for now?
Larry of firing, heavy artillery firing started at around 1:40, 1:45 a.m. and it stopped around 5 a.m. in the morning.
Okay.
Sporadic firing was going on, and small arm firing somewhere, some places reported, but no artillery fire after morning, seventh morning till now.
Okay. The um the Pakistanis claim that they shot down, I've heard claims of three Indian combat aircraft and then five Indian combat aircraft. Have you received any confirmation? Are those true claims, or is that just propaganda being pushed?
Indian government and Indian army has told very categorically no casualty or loss of any military property or personnel till now reported. This is India's stand. As you know, that propaganda is a very important tool of any war,
Hmm.
and so
Sure.
propaganda is used again to down the morale of adversary or other country. So this happens every time, but Indian government till now has said that no casualty of any military personnel or no loss of military property anywhere.
So, have you gotten any insight into um, conversations or diplomatic interventions by Russia, by China, or by Iran? Who who has the most influence with India in coming from the outside, suggesting, okay, let's keep our powder dry. Let's step back from the precipice.
Actually, whenever India and Pakistan are on the brink of war, every country tries to stop them from engaging or escalating the war because both are nuclear powered nation. So as far as this attack is concerned, America and Russia, maybe Russia, they were kept in confidence, and they were informed about the attack. And most of the countries are telling both the countries that they will practice some constraint on, and they should de-escalate the situation. And uh, so every country is trying to pacify the situation, and instructing both the countries, advising, telling, requesting both the India and Pakistan both that they should not escalate the situation.
Sure. Now, there's some when the precipitating attack, the attack of the tourist site in Kashmir took place. It was attributed, I believe, to the Lashkar-e-Taiba, this radical group in Pakistan, who have a history of
Ter-
carrying out
terrorist group,
attacks.
terrorist group.
Yeah, in fact, it was it 2008 that they carried out the attacks in Mumbai and killed, close to 200 people and wounded more than 300. So this has been a long-standing threat. What within the last week, there was a former Pakistani defense minister who was interviewed on RT, and he said that the Western intelligence had been uh, basically behind a lot of the terrorism and had been using Pakistan as a platform from which that terrorism was launched. So, in light of that, what is your assessment about the likelihood that that attack that took place, more than a week ago, and killed all of those tourists, with that was a deliberate provocation by the West in order to derail uh, part of it to derail BRICS and to foster conflict between India and China.
Actually, before today's press conference, uh, there were they showed a documentary film, short film about the terrorist attacks on India initiated by Pakistani terrorists since 2001 to 2025. India is facing a brunt of terrorism since last many decades. But the most deadly attacks in last 25 years were 2001 when Akshardham Temple was Parliament was attacked, then Akshardham Temple, then 2008 Mumbai, then Uri attack in 2016, then Pulwama attack in 2019, and now this 2025 Pahalgam attack. Actually, what Defense Minister of Pakistan was telling in an interview, it is an open secret. Earlier also, many Pakistani writers wrote books about Pakistani terror industry and America behind this.
Mhm.
So this is not a secret. In late 70s and early 80s, when Soviet Sangh was in Afghanistan, America used Pakistan as a training center for mujahideens who who went to Afghanistan to fight Soviet troops.
Correct.
In 15th February 1989, when last Soviet soldier left Afghanistan, then all those trained terrorists, along with all those weapons, all funding, they they were diverted to Kashmir. And Pakistan, in fact, told this in many times that now our mujahideens will go to Kashmir. So since 1989, terrorism in Kashmir was very high, and same and in 1989 to till now there is terrorism in Kashmir, and after that there were many terrorist groups. Groups are different, but their ideology, their masters, their handlers, they are the same. Say it Jaish-e-Mohammed, say it Lashkar-e-Taiba, say it Hizbul Mujahideen. All terrorist groups are trained, and all terrorists are sheltered in Pakistan. Osama bin Laden was also there in Pakistan.
Right.
But who is behind that? That is the main question.
Yeah.
Who is funding? Who is funding? Because Pakistan can't afford to train all these terrorists and can't afford to train them, weaponize them, give them money, give them accommodation and everything. So there are powers who are behind all this terrorist infrastructure.
This is, the history of, let's call it Western facilitation of terrorism, certainly puts it into a different category. Of course, also, Pakistan has been, I'll call it an ideological center, going back maybe 50, 60 years. The Deobandi uh, sort of version of the theology of Sunni Islam has, uh, taken a radical form, and that has been very influential in much of the Islamic world, behind the terrorism. What is it that makes Kashmir such a hot point, or such a critical point of friction between Pakistan and India?
I can't understand why Pakistan is so obsessed for Kashmir. India and Pakistan fought three full-scale war, one Kargil conflict. For Kashmir, Pakistan always claimed that Kashmir is their jugular vein. and they want to acquire Kashmir. I don't know what they will do with that Kashmir, because what Kashmir is administered by Pakistan, that is in very bad shape in the comparison of Kashmir here in India. So what they will do with that Kashmir, and I could never understand. But Kashmir has some strategic importance also. Historically, it is on the ancient Silk Route. The highest air bases are there in Kashmir, like Skardu, there like
The highest what?
air bases,
Oh, air bases.
air
Yes.
base, highest altitude air bases situated on highest altitude, like Skardu, like Gilgit, like Leh, which is in India, like Neoma. So they are air bases running very high altitude. That.
So we're talking about the what makes Kashmir significant, and that you had commented on the fact that the Pakistani. My understanding is that Kashmir was divided between Pakistan and India, with Pakistan getting 1/3 and India controlling 2/3. Is that correct?
Yeah, you can say that. Not
Eh,
exactly, but and that part is also claimed by India,
Yeah.
because that part was part of erstwhile Jammu and Kashmir kingdom. And on 20 on October 1947, the instrument of succession was signed by authorized government of that time of Jammu and Kashmir, Maharaja Hari Singh. So,
Prior,
so India.
well, yeah, prior to 1947, and let's say even prior to the time that Britain was mucking around trying to take control of both Pakistan and India, as a colonial power. Uh, was there conflict over Kashmir prior to that?
Can you
Historic,
repeat the question?
pardon?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, so before, let's go back to before Britain, the United Kingdom became the colonial power controlling areas of Pakistan and India.
Mhm.
The, Even before they were on scene, was there conflict between, was Kashmir a place of conflict, or was it calm?
Historically,
Yeah.
you want to say history. Historically, if I go 1000 years ago, there were some dynasty, and 13th, 14th century, there was other dynasty. And after in 19th century, it was given to the Dogra clan after the Treaty of Amritsar, sometime in 1825, maybe. I may be not correct on
Yeah.
exact date. Yeah. But after the Treaty of Amritsar, the state of Jammu Kashmir was given to one Dogra clan. So Dogra dynasty ruled Kashmir till 1947. And last ruler of that dynasty, Maharaja Hari Singh, he signed the instrument of succession with India.
Uh-huh.
And by that time, Pakistani irregulars, Kabilis, and Pakistani regulars, they were already on the gate of Srinagar, the capital of Kashmir. And on 25th, 26th October 1947, first Indo-Pakistan war started. So legally, Kashmir was merged in India by its authorized and legal ruler, and then just after a few hours, Pakistani raiders tried to capture it for the Pakistan. And in fact, that plan of capturing the Kashmir was started 2 3 months before the actual attack, just after the partition, just after the 15 August 1947. They already prepared, and they already started attacking and invading areas of Kashmir.
So if you had to ascribe one cause to the war? Is it really a fight to preserve the rights of Muslims, or is it actually a fight over the Indus River and access to water? So the question is this at the root of this conflict? Is this about who's going to protect the rights of Muslim people, or is it a fight over water, the access to the Indus?
Actually, before 1989, when this new terrorism started by Pakistan, there were no questions of Hindu or Muslims in Kashmir. Let me tell you one thing, one very famous incident when in 1947, in October 1947, when invaders from Pakistan were coming and looting and raping and arsoning all the villages and towns on the way, then there were Muslims who were fighting against those invaders
Uh-huh.
because that time troops of Jammu Kashmir state army were not enough, and Indian army till now was not there to protect them. So it was local Kashmiri Muslim guys who were fighting against these invaders.
Right.
Same in 1965, when Pakistan infiltrated their special forces in Kashmir, then there were Muslim shepherds who caught them and handed them over to Indian army. So there were no question of Hindu and Muslim before 1989.
Okay.
1989, when this hardliner Islamic terrorism was introduced in Kashmir, then the massacre of Kashmiri Hindus happened, and then the exodus of Kashmiri Hindus happened. And then in 1989, Kashmiri Hindus left Kashmir Valley and settled in Jammu or in Delhi and till they are refugees. So this was not a question of Hindu Muslim before 1989.
Right. Okay. So it probably boils down more to the importance of the water that comes out of the Indus. Where are the headwaters of the Indus?
Indus.
Yeah.
You you want to know the flow of Indus, route of
Yeah.
Indus?
Yeah. Where does the water start from? It comes out of the mountains, I'm
Okay,
sure. Yeah.
okay. Now, Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh are two separate states. Earlier, it was total Jammu and Kashmir along with Ladakh. Now Ladakh is a union territory and Jammu Kashmir is another union territory. A few years back now, there has been election and now elected government is there. So now Ladakh is separate from Jammu and Kashmir, and Indus flows only through Ladakh.
Okay.
It enters India from a place called Damchok in Ladakh from Tibet, near from Mansarovar Lake, and then there is a place called Batalik, and it exits from Batalik to Pakistan. So I don't think it will be more than 200 kilometers in India,
So
and
the
that
Well, I was just going to say when the fighting started, this latest round of fighting started, uh, that India was looking at using the water as leverage against Pakistan. Is that correct?
actually Indus Water Treaty, putting abeyance to Indus Water Treaty was a very big decision, because this treaty survived through 1965 war, 1971 war, then in Kargil conflict, then many terrorist attack after Parliament attack, after Mumbai attack, but this treaty survived. Now India has put this treaty into in abeyance. It has been literally suspended.
Mm-hmm.
Now there are six rivers in this total system, Indus Water Treaty. Three western rivers, Indus, Jhelum, and Chenab. Three called eastern rivers, Satluj, Ravi, and Vyas. Western rivers are for Pakistan. Eastern rivers are for India. But even then, there are many provisions in that treaty. You can take how much water you can take, how much water you can use. But the main point is you can't stop the water. So in Indus, there are small hydropower plant till now, because it flows only 200 kilometers, some 200, around 200 kilometers in India. But in Jhelum and Chenab, there are big hydropower projects also, big dams also. So now, if India has suspended Indus Water Treaty, so it is not necessary for India to inform Pakistan about hydrographic data or about gate opening dates or gate closing dates, and it can expand its reservoirs. It can increase the height of dams. Basically, two big dams are there. One is called Bagalihar and second is called Kishanganga. So Bagalihar Dam is already the desilting operations are going on. If desilting is done, then water storage capacity will increase. Then you can stop more water.
Okay.
So this will be problematic for Pakistan. But the most biggest impact will be psychological for Pakistani farmers, because Pakistani economy is dependent on irrigation from these rivers. All agriculture in Punjab and Sindh provinces are dependent on Indus water from Indus. And if those farmers will feel that they will deprived of water and their agriculture will be destroyed, then there will be frustration. So this is more of a psychological effect. But
Do,
India can use that water. India can always expand the reservoir, increase the height of the dam, desilting operations can be done.
do you think that the average citizen of India understands that this latest incident with the attack in Kashmir against the tourists, excuse me, that this was really an outside provocation designed to distract and hurt India, to try to pull India away from the BRICS relationship with China and with Russia?
Actually, this terrorist incident filled India, common Indian citizen, with grief, sorrow, and anger. Terrorism is an old problem for India. India is facing terrorism since last 3-4 decades continuously, and from these Islamic terrorists coming from Pakistan. So this was another blow, and it was very brutal blow. So everybody is filled with anger, with sorrow, with grief, and this was very painful to watch a young widow just married for 4 days. Her husband was killed there, and she was sitting with the dead body of her husband only four days after the marriage. So this was very painful sights for every Indian. But I don't think they think that this could be done by some motive other than inflicting wounds in Kashmir.
You're
I
right.
don't think so. So they feel that this was done by Pakistan, this was done by Islamic terrorists, and that too because everybody was first identified, confirmed that they were Hindus, they were not Muslims, and then they were killed. So it was designed by terrorists to terrorize or to give a message. So this was very painful for majority of Indian people, that they were asked their name, checked identity cards, confirmed that they are Hindus, they are not Muslims, and then they were killed. But I
Mhm.
don't think common Indian citizen feel that this could be to derail BRICS developments, and uh, to create create friction between BRICS countries, India and China and Russia.
Well, I've heard some Western analysts suggest that um, this was indirectly, this is designed to promote conflict between India and China because China fears losing, for example, Apple is talking about building its factory in India to build the Apple iPhone as opposed to where it's currently being manufactured in China. And that the goal behind incidents like this is to promote greater conflict and friction between India and China. Do you put any, do you assign any credibility to that kind of uh, speculative analysis?
I don't think. Actually, nobody in India will believe that this incident was because of this Apple or factory or something like that, because there is a long history of such terror attacks, parliament attacks, but there are long history
Hmm.
of attacks on Hindus and security forces, or innocent civilians, tourists. So there is a long history. So no one in India, no common citizen of India will accept this analysis, because they think that this is crystal clear, that this was another attack, one more attack in the series of so many attacks, and by Islamic terrorists who are sheltered and trained and funded by Pakistan. Still they are being sheltered in Pakistan. They are being trained in Pakistan. They are planning another attack, another one. So this is main thought process of a common citizen of India.
Okay. Um, what did I hear you in India when you have identity cards? It's required as every citizen has an identity card. Does it list on the card that you are Hindu or Muslim or Christian?
Actually, you can identify very easily by the names.
Okay. But I'm saying apart from that, is it part of Indian law that you actually identify?
No, but no, religion is never written on any identity card. But you can easily find out that he's Muslim, he's not Muslim,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
by the name.
Yeah, I know with like the Sindhis, their names always end with like ANI, Manda, Mand
That's true. That's true.
Mandani, something like that. No.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, I
You are
was
you
when I
you
did
are correct.
I did a lot of investigations of product counterfeiting in Panama. And the broker, the person who was going around with an order book and allowing people to place orders to manufacture everything like counterfeit rice cookers, coffee makers, they were Sindhis, and they played a major role in that. Uh, and I was told that in India the joke is that if you're in the jungle and you come across a cobra and a Sindhi, kill the Cindy. Is that correct?
No, I never heard of anything, any joke like that. Basically, Sindhis are also came in India after the partition. They are native of Sindh province of Pakistan. They were driven and thrown away after the partition, and then they scattered all over the India. And basically, in the starting, they were doing small businesses, and anyhow, they survived. So now Sindhi community is very powerful and very wealthy. And they are holding big business houses. They are everywhere. They are in every job like any other Indian community. But what I was saying, that religion is not necessarily written on any identity card. Basic identity card is called Aadhaar in India. Aadhaar in Hindi mean base also.
Okay.
but it is abbreviation of some very long thing. So Aadhaar is basic identity card of India, any Indian citizen. If you want to get a driving license, you will need Aadhaar. If you want to open a bank account, you will need Aadhaar. Even telephone connection, anything, you will need Aadhaar card and Aadhaar number. So that is basic identity card, which is always with every Indian citizen. So if somebody is showing identity card Aadhaar and my name is Krishna Mishra, anybody can judge that I am a Hindu.
Okay.
So they saw their identity card, they checked their identity card, and there are rumors that they were checked whether they were circumcised or not. Even this was checked, and then they were targeted and killed.
Is there any particular natural resource that is abundant in Kashmir that makes it also sort of a point of conflict, or is it simply the fact that the historical ties that each country claims for it?
Actually, Kashmir has never had any tie with Pakistan. It was not. Earlier, Kashmir was part of Punjab Kingdom, which was a Sikh kingdom. Then it was a Dogra kingdom.
So
So it
it
was never associated by any chance by Pakistan since last 300 years, 300, 400 years. Before that, it was ruled by Muslim emperors. Like rest of the India, there are many provinces which were ruled by Muslims,
sure.
Muslim dynasties and Muslim rulers. Kashmir has only two, three products like fruits, dry fruits, and pashmina. Kashmiri, that very costly yarn, pashmina yarn.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. You must be knowing.
Yeah. The people
Other
like to
than
make
that,
make sweaters out of it. Is
yes, pashmina. So pashmina is basically product of Ladakh, and then pashmina goes to Kashmir to weaving the shawl and doing embroidery on that. So handicraft, tourism, and horticulture means fruit business.
yeah.
That is only resource of Kashmir. Tourism is main income source of Kashmir. So there is no big industry because of terrorism. Now there are investment coming. Now Indian government is trying to establish some factories or establishing some big business there. So Kashmir has no financial, what do you say, lucrative financial
Yeah,
thing,
lucrative financial.
financial anybody want to grab it. So Kashmir is basically why Pakistan is obsessed with Kashmir and fail to understand.
Okay. So in your assessment, we'll wrap up with this. Um, do you think that the most critical phase, most dangerous phase of this latest violence between India and Pakistan, is that over? And is there now going to seek a peaceful way out, or how do you assess the possibility that this could escalate?
God forbid, but everybody is anxious, and everybody think that there could be retaliation from Pakistan because this is the long history. After Pulwama, Indian Air Force attacked terrorist groups in deep in Pakistan in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and second day it was Pakistani Air Force who sent fighter jets in India. Though in the Pakistani defense minister said that if India doesn't escalate, we won't escalate the situation. But even then, nobody knows what will happen tomorrow, what will happen this night. Will Pakistan retaliate? Nobody knows.
Well, at least as a defense correspondent, uh, you've got some job security, unfortunately. I mean, I don't wish that you not have job security, but uh, you're not going to be lacking for things to report on. So I'd like to stay in touch with you going forward, and I appreciate your expertise and taking time to talk to me. Thank you, Krishna.
Thank you very much, Larry, for giving this opportunity to talk to you.
All right. Okay, my friend. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
Well, despite some technical difficulties, we had a great discussion with Krishna Mohan, and I thank you for watching this episode of Countercurrents. In this particular case, I pray that this violence that has erupted between India and Pakistan, that it dies down and that they find a way to peacefully resolve the situation. And if you found this discussion helpful, please share it with your friends, family, and hit the like and subscribe button. I'm Larry Johnson, and this is Countercurrents.